Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I've seen a lot of questions on Facebook forums and Facebook pages and groups and on YouTube. People that are building their camper vans asking what's best to buy to keep their food cold and their drinks cold. Should they buy a cool box or should they buy a compressor fridge? Well, hopefully this video will answer some of those questions. So for the last, 2 years, I've been using a cool box to keep my stuff cold. And I found it to be an absolute drain on my battery pack and my battery. We'll get into that in just a minute. But I've gone out and bought myself the Alpaca CP9 compressor fridge, and I have to say, it's a game changer. Anyway, so that's the Alpaca CP9 fridge, little compressor fridge there. It's not the biggest in the world, but it's big enough for my micro camper and for what I need it to do. Anyway, let's go and get into the comparison of that compressor fridge and the old cool box. So the big question is, what is a cool box and what is a compressor fridge? Well, in short, a cool box does exactly the same thing in the compressor fridge, but the cool box is exactly what it is. It's just a box that keeps cool. Go figure. But the difference is, with the cool box, you have got to keep this thing running constantly. If you want your stuff to stay cold, it has to be plugged in to a power source of some description constantly. And it is a constant drain on the power. That's the only difference, really. Price-wise, cool box. This is an old, believe it or not, it's an old Land Rover one. It's a second-hand one that I picked up. But a cool box, you could probably pick one of these up. Halfords are probably the most popular place to get them. You could probably pick one up for about 60 quid. Now, it's quite expensive if you ask me for what they are, particularly when they're a constant drain on your power source. But they are portable. This one did have a handle, and you can pick them up and you can take them to the beach. And if you put an ice block in there with some description or some ice, it should keep your food and drink cold for, a considerable amount of time without being plugged in. But once it starts to heat up, it will not cool itself back down, unlike the compressor fridge. So we put that aside, that's the cool box. Compressor fridge. So this is the Alpaca CP9, and it's the 9 is for the 9 litre. I think they do a 9 litre, they do like a 15 litre, and I think they go up and up from there. But this is big enough for what I need for my camper van. Now, this is a fantastic bit of kit. This is probably, and I know I've said it before, probably one of the best things I've bought for my camper van. So, in short, this is a compressor fridge. Compressor fridge will do what that doesn't do. You can plug this into your power source, choose the temperature that you want this to get to. Once it reaches that temperature, it will shut itself off. Therefore, not constantly draining your power source. So, basically, you can plug this in all day, into your camper van, go off out, knowing that you can leave this on, be safe. We'll get onto the safety features in just a minute, knowing that your food will stay at a constant temperature. They won't warm up and then you've got to cool it down again. It will stay at that temperature. Pretty cool. Price-wise, well, this was just over £100. You might think that's a lot of money, but okay, probably double for what you can get a cool box for. But you've got to weigh up the options. Do you want to have a constant drain on your power source, or do you want to be safe in the knowledge, knowing that your food, which is the most important thing, is going to be at a constant temperature, not warming up, then cooling down. So therefore, you're not going to get yourself sick and you're not going to drain all your power. So for that extra 60 quid, peace of mind, money well spent. How much can you fit inside the cool box? Right, so inside the cool box, masses of space. Got to be honest with you, a lot more than my 9 litre. However, I never used all that space, if I'm brutally honest with you. And this cool box can keep things hot or cold, which the compressor fridge can do as well. Let's have a look inside the compressor fridge. Okay, so this Alpaca CP9 is diddy. All right, it is tiny, but don't be fooled. It's like a TARDIS. This will fit more than you think in it. Apparently this can fit 16 cans of like Coca-Cola or small cans of beer. You could easily fit a bottle of water in here and some milk, some vegetables, chocolate, or 186.5 carats. Now, the other thing I like more about this than I do for this, stability. This is flat. It's got a nice flat bottom to it. It's easy, you can lift it up, doesn't wobble around, and then you can close it. With the cool box, lift the lid up, crap. Right, so I'm just going to do a little power test now. So I've brought out the ALLPOWERS R600. I'm just going to test the cool box now and have a look and just see what power this drains while it's constantly running. And just remember, with a cool box, constantly draining. So it won't switch itself off when it gets to the temperature. It will just keep going and going and going. Let's turn it on, let's have a look. Okay, so the cool box is plugged in and it's set for cold. And I've plugged the 12 volt in. So you can see there, the ALLPOWERS is at 99%. So this will run for 4 days currently as it is. Now let's just turn on the cool box. You can hear it firing up. So it's 61 watt output, 60, 59, so it's going down. So we're looking at between 59 and 61 watts that it's drawing out of the ALLPOWERS. Now the ALLPOWERS says it will run that for 5 hours and then it will be flat. Just remember, as I keep saying, that is a constant drain. It will not turn itself off. It's quite a drain, isn't it? When that's constantly running, the ALLPOWERS is already down to 98%. So let's turn this off. Let's plug in the compressor fridge because this would be really interesting. Right, here we go. So the compressor fridge has just kicked in. 40 watts, 29, and that's on startup, everybody. We're looking at about 30 watts of output as soon as it's turned itself on. And just remember that when something just turns itself on, like any fridge, it's going to drain a lot more power to get down to that temperature. And don't forget, this isn't going to be a constant drain. Once it's at temperature, it will cut out. So I'm going to leave it on, let it cool down, and we'll get back to you in just a minute and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so the fridge has just turned itself off. You can see there we're down to 94% on the ALLPOWERS. We are taking no power out, and this thing will now run for 4 days solid. Now, it's reached a temperature of, I think it was 4 degrees, which I think is colder than what your normal fridge would be at home. I think you should have them set, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but between 5 and 7. So I've gone down quite cold, and it will stay like this now until it warms up slightly, and then that will kick back in, and it will use even less power to cool itself back down. That was the initial startup. So that is the biggest benefit of using a compressor fridge. Hardly drains any power. Fantastic. So with the AFRICK CP9, you get a handy little, let me try and get that open, a little USB. Don't know why, on the front. Apparently you can charge a mobile phone from it and something like that. But that will just drain more power. So don't use that unless you actually need to. You've got your temperature control dials here. They'll probably kick in now. So if I go colder, it will kick in. Your power button, the setting, there you go. And you can hear how quiet it is. It's a lot quieter than the cool box. So this is your settings. So you see eco mode or maximum. And if you hold that down, well, let's go into maximum mode. And if I hold the settings button down, you can see there we're now moving from low, medium to high, and that is for battery protection. Okay, so that's for your battery protection. So you've got maximum and eco mode for the power that it will drain. We're on maximum, 26 watts currently going out, and then you can set your hold that button down, 3 seconds, high, medium or low for battery protection. There is also an app. I'll just put it up on the screen here, and you can see that you can do all sorts of what you can do on that LCD panel. You can turn it on, you can turn it off, you can adjust the temperature, and you can set the settings to high, medium or low, eco or maximum. So it's really handy. So at night time, if it's really bothering you, you don't want to clamber out of bed and turn it off. Not that it's very loud at all, but you can actually turn it off by your mobile phone. So anyway, that was just a quick video really, just to show you the difference between a cool box and a compressor fridge. I didn't really know the difference to start off with. I do now. Will I ever use a cool box again? Well, I heck, compressor fridge all the way. Even if I'm going down to the beach, stick it on a little trolley, wheel it down. Yes, you've got to take a power pack with you. You'd have to take one with a cool box as well, unless you were putting ice in there or something like that. You can do that with a compressor fridge as well. Why would you not have a compressor fridge? I think the days of the cool box, well and truly over. Anyway, thanks very much for watching the video. I hope you found it interesting. And don't forget, if you haven't already, click on the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comments below. Let me know what you think. What do you use? Compressor fridge or cool box? I'll be interested to know. Leave me your thoughts. Don't forget, got a massive road trip coming up in the next couple of weeks from a beautiful sunny Hampshire. I'm going to enjoy the camp and I'm staying out here tonight, and I might record that for you as well. Have a great weekend, whatever you're up to. Actually, it's Sunday, so your weekend's nearly over. So I hope you've had a good one.